The unit turn can be thought of as maybe a double unit turn. And what I mean by that is that we want to think of getting our arms back or our hands behind this back hip in the first step. So as we step out with what becomes our back foot or the racket side foot, we want to have our hands be outside of that hip by the time our back foot lands. So if I'm setting up, I'm here and my hands are outside of this hip in this first phase. And now I've completed what I'm going to be doing with my arms. It's only then when I step forward that you see the unit turn completes. I'm able to go here and step into the shot, or I'm stepping into the shot, completing it, and then able to swing. Once you start getting that timing down, you're going to see how natural it feels to swing through that. We already do this when we throw. You're not throwing, stepping onto this leg, and then throwing the ball. You are setting up on this back foot over here, and now we are rotating as we step forward and throw. We have a natural timing that allows us to keep our weight on the back foot. We bring our arm back, and this is rotating us as we're stepping into the shot and then throwing off of that foot. So we naturally have this weight on the back foot transferring as we step forward, and I'm not doing anything extra with my arm. I'm not setting up and then as I step forward deciding to do more with my arm. I've already brought the ball up if I have it in my hand, and I'm stepping in. You can see that I'm creating a larger rotation without doing anything with the arm. So I can load, and now my foot is set to throw off of the lead leg. So the tennis swing is a lot like that too. We want to make sure that we're completing the load on this back foot, and now we don't need to do anything extra with the arms. We are just going to be stepping in, and this creates the rotation that we want, and that's completing the unit turn. When we complete the unit turn, you can allow yourself to even pause just for a second, or imagine that you're doing that so that you can slow your mind down a little bit, see the ball, and then drive your weight through the shot. So when you're thinking of the unit turn, don't think about needing to do everything right in the beginning. The first part is completing the arm take back, which is having both hands behind the hip on that first step, and now as the foot steps forward, that's what creates the full racket take back. From this position, now I'm able to drive through the shot. And that doesn't matter if it's a one-handed backhand or a two-handed backhand or a forehand like I was just demonstrating. If I was doing it on the two-handed backhand, I would step out, setting up with both hands on the outside of the hip, and now as this steps in, that's completing the unit turn and able to drive through the shot. Likewise, on the one-handed backhand, I'm setting up outside of my hip with both hands, and now this completes the unit turn and I can drive through the shot. The more that you can feel like there's a little pause in between that setup and this happens, you're going to gather your weight a little bit better and be able to drive through the shot more effectively. The example I was just giving has you stepping in more of a neutral stance or possibly even a semi-open stance, but say you didn't have the time to do that or you're not able to step into the shot, you have still completed the unit turn enough to have the load happen even from an open setting. So my feet can be pointing to my target, and I've loaded my arms and shoulders enough that even as I get my weight to be driving through the shot, I can still stay down with the ball as I do it. So even though ideally we are trying to set up and let this complete. It's only a double unit turn if we're doing it more from a neutral stance or a semi-open stance. But if you don't have time and you need to hit the open stance, then you're already ready to do that. So I can set up, be right here, or be in my ready position of the unit turn and then drive through the shot because I do have my weight loaded on the back leg already.